Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video we're going to be demonstrating how to replace the AYC, also known as AWC pump, on a Mitsubishi Evo. It has thrown the C161 code, so that means the pump has gone bad.
Before we get started, let's just take a moment to appreciate the front end of this car. Comment down below, guys. What front end do you think looks better, Evo or the STI?
So the pump is located behind the bumper right here, so we're going to have to pull the wheel off, the mud flap off the cab one, and also the inner fender. So to get this cover, the inner fender off, there will be a few nuts around the cover. There's the 10mm head and also a few clips like this that you just use a flathead screwdriver to get off. Now that the cover's off, you can see that we have access to the pump. So to remove the pump, there will be 3 lines here that we need to unscrew. Those 3 there. The 2 hose clamps back there holding the hoses from the reservoir onto the pump, we need to take those off. There will be 4 clips, wiring clips on the back side you'll see when I remove the pump from the car. And also there's 4 bolts, a bolt here, a bolt back there you can't see, and then focus, 2 bolts on the bottom holding the pump bracket of the car, and then there's 4 bolts holding the pump to the mount. Now that all the bolts are out, the whole pump and bracket should slide down pretty easily. This next step is gonna probably get pretty messy. We're gonna be pulling the lines off. So those lines right there that go into the pump, and then the hoses from the reservoir go into the pump. We're gonna pull those off. So there's gonna be oil that'll be draining out. So I'd recommend putting like a towel down and an oil pan to try to catch most of the oil. The lines going into the pump are just held on by a 14mm, so we are just going to loosen those up with a 14mm wrench, and they shouldn't be too tight at all. Now that the lines are off, you can just move them out of the way. They should be pretty loose because the mounts are connected to the AYC pump mount, which we already took those bolts off. Now that the lines are out of the way, we can disconnect these hoses that are coming from the reservoir. So just grab a set of pliers and pop the clamps off. And a light tug on the hoses should slide them right off. As soon as we get these lines off, there will be 3 wiring connectors on the back side that plug in. One plugs there, one there, and then this plug in here. And as soon as those 3 wiring connectors are disconnected, the whole pump will slide out of the car. Now that the pump is off of the car, we need to remove the actual pump from the mount itself. So we already took off most of the bolts on the bottom of the pump. There will be 2 more bolts on the side that we need to remove. And then on the back side of the pump, we need to take off these clips for the wiring connectors. So let's grab some pliers and those will pop right off. And that is the old pump. As you can see, it's very corroded. So what happens with these pumps is the corrosion gets in between the casing here and it erodes away, and then the seal, there's the seal in there that creates pressure, and that seal will leak and there will be no pressure in the pump. So that's why we are replacing it. Before putting the new pump on, I purchased a replacement offline for, I think I paid $400 for it. It was a lot cheaper than a new OEM replacement. But before putting this all back together, I would recommend cleaning the pump bracket off. So let's go ahead and clean that thing up. Now that I got the bracket cleaned, we can grab the new pump and set it on the bracket and throw those 2 bolts back in it.
Yeah.
Now that all the lines are on, we need to reattach the pump mount to the car. So the 2 bolts, zoom out here, there's 2 bolts up top that we need to put back on, and then the 2 bolts down here holding the pump to the car, and then there's the 2 bolts holding the pump to the mount, and the 1 clip holding the bumper onto the car. So now that the pump is all back on the car, all the lines are on, hoses are on, and all the bolts are tight, we can put the inner fender back on. So after you get the pump replaced on the car, you need to have it bled. I don't have the software to bleed it, so I am going to call the dealer and see what they charge to do that.
Yeah.
Fulfilling automation mod for the Mitsubishi service. Is that thing help you?
Yeah, I need to have my AYC pump on my Evo bled. It's a 2008 Evolution.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let's say it'd be 2 o'clock on Monday. Would that work?
Yeah, that should work fine.
Alright.
And what do you charge for that?
I think it's like around $80.
$80, okay. And it's not going to harm the pump at all if I don't put oil in the reservoir. I just replaced it, so there's no oil in it right now.
You guys put your lights on too.
What was that?
Like your AYC light on before the service full drive.
Yeah, it's all connected. I mean, if I need to, I can disconnect some wiring or whatever.
I want to do that.
Disconnect the wiring.
Yeah, just do that, and then yeah, then we'll plug it in when he gets here and boot it out then.
Okay, cool.
What's your last name? Or what's your first name? I'm sorry.
The first name is Devin. So the dealer says to disconnect some of the wiring before you drive the car to have it bled, and they can just plug it in at the dealership. So the pump is not running, you know, we drained all the oil out of the reservoir, so there's no oil in the pump right now. And I guess if it's running when you're driving the car, it could possibly harm the pump. So just disconnect some of the wiring before you bring the car to the dealer. So I don't know if you guys could hear that. It costs $80 to have the pump lead. I bought the used replacement pump online for 400 bucks shipped. Yeah, I think new from the dealer are around 1200. So if you can find a good used one, low miles, I'd go that route. And it took me roughly an hour to replace, so not too bad. If you guys thought this video was helpful at all, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comment section below and I will try my best to get them answered. Thank you for watching.